Now, before we talk about the reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, kind of an odd sentence to say, but whatever. Um, Following the events of James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, the hero Peacemaker is coerced into more contract killing by the arms of Amanda Waller in order to avoid more prison time. And obviously, I'm talking about the new show, Peacemaker, which just premiered on HBO Max this past Thursday. Now, there are only 3 episodes on there so far, and I honestly have to say that I'm very impressed with what I've seen at this point.
That's awesome. Yeah, because when I mentioned it to you, I was like, I'm not sure if he would be into it, but it'll be something we can talk about. And I know for me, I am enjoying it more than I thought. Peacemaker was like the one character I absolutely despise from the Suicide Squad, and I was like, how are you going to do a show to a character that just, if you haven't seen it, oh well, killed Rick Flag. He gets a building toppled on him, and he still survives, bruh. No, just no. Like, I love you, James Gunn, but this is too comic booky now. This is too comic booky. But and I like John Cena. You know, to a certain, I don't love the guy or the actor, but you know, I like him. He does pretty decent with what's given with him. But this show, I think it really shows that James Gunn is like, John Cena, you do the usual you, but amplify it. And I'm just like, this is nutty. With a lot of things that happened in the first 3 episodes, I was like, this is nutty. That never happened. And even new characters, I'm slowly coming to enjoy more often than usual. And I didn't expect to say this, but I'm really liking some of these villains, to be honest, because that's kind of, you know, what, I mean, Peacemaker is slowly becoming something else, but overall, I'm very impressed with the show. I like the style, I like the humor. This show reminds me of a movie called Super years ago with Ellen Page and the actor that played Dwight in The Office. And I think James Gunn, Rainn Wilson, and I believe it was James Gunn who wrote and directed that. So I can see those influences, and to me, this feels like this feels what James Gunn should have done for a while and not gone to Marvel. Unfortunately, that's just my opinion. I love Guardians, but the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker so far, I'm really enjoying, if not having a blast with Peacemaker. I'm just having a blast.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, with what they've done, so it's funny that you mentioned like how you despised Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad, because just from what I've seen so far in this show, again, we're only 3 episodes in, I really like what they've done with this character so far. He's like this very motivated and enthusiastic person, but also he's very naive about a lot of things. He's very off color in a lot of ways too, which I particularly enjoyed as well. And it's not just him, like the other characters show some promise too. Again, like obviously they don't take up as much space as Peacemaker, but again, I feel like they could possibly prove themselves to be memorable too. And from what I've seen so far, this has James Gunn written all over it.
Oh, yes.
It's hilarious in the most twisted way. There are definitely a lot of comic riffs back and forth between the characters that, let's be real, add runtime onto each particular episode. But again, they're funny, they're entertaining, and they help to reveal part of who each character is. And it's very energetic. It's very explicit too. You know, again, he's taking full advantage of, let's say, that TVMA or R-rated rating. And it's one thing too, you know, with everything that I've seen from James Gunn, whether it's the Suicide Squad, the Guardians movies, and of course this, the soundtracks, like, pop culture soundtracks throughout. I feel like a lot of times he's not just making like a film, he's not just making a TV show, he's making a fucking mixtape too, you know? Right?
Oh,
and here's
yes.
the thing, I'm watching this, and it's just one song after another. And I'm like, okay, I know I'll have made it in my career as a filmmaker when I can make something and just put in as many of my favorite songs as I want to just amplify each scene, each moment. Like, I'll have made it when I'm able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with music, James Gunn just nails it. He nails it all the time with soundtrack and music. And it's funny how you mentioned that he's always making a mixtape, because I remember when Guardians came out, and even 2, I constantly downloaded like those songs because it was just so good. and relevant to the films and even the Suicide Squad. And he's doing it again with Peacemaker, so he really has a good attention with what song he wants to use, and he uses them in a wacky way as well, which again, that's James Gunn.
Yep. Yeah. So again, like the action is and again, that's another thing too. The action is really strong so far too. Special effects are really cool, and like I said, I'm actually looking forward to new episodes of the show coming out again every Thursday now.
Yep, same here. Like, and even the narrative is interesting to a certain extent. And I'm just like, I wonder where this is going to go in a wacky way.
Yep. And one thing I have to say, something I just thought of, as far as like other characters showing promise too. What's the actor's name? I think his name is Robert Frank, the guy who plays Peacemaker's father. Holy shit, he is going to be interesting throughout the rest of the show. Like he caught like. I knew he was, without giving away too much, I knew he was a certain way. I didn't know how much of that certain way he was. My God, he's going to be, he's going to make things interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how they apply him to the rest of the story. So, on that lovely note, the next episode of the show streams again on HBO Max this Thursday, January 20th. Again, what do you guys think of Peacemaker so far? Do you feel like he deserves his own show? Has he earned his own show yet? Do you still have to see more in order to make that judgment? Leave your thoughts in that comment section, again, wherever it is that you can.